There's nothing like the peaceful resonance of a stream. However, this stream is a little different. We are talking the Michael Levy directed 2024 movie, Stream. And if you're a fan of the Terrifier movies, listen up, because this one may well interest you. It's nearly as gory as the Terrifier movies, but also has other connections as well. It's actually produced by Damien Leone, who of course was the director responsible for the Terrifier movies. He also does the VFX score makeup here, but it also has David Thornton, who plays Art the Clown, as in a role here as another killer. Somewhat similar role, it must be said. So yes, you should be interested if you're a Terrifier fan, but that's not all. Horror movie fans, listen up, because this has a whole smorgasbord of horror character actors, including Jeffrey Combs, Danielle Harris, Felicia Rose, Bill Moseley, Tony Todd, to name but a few, in varying size roles here. Now, I would best describe this movie as Hostel meets the Purge with the gore and sensibilities of the Terrifier movies. So, what is the story? Well, it focuses primarily on a family of four as they decide to have a little bit of a break and go in this hotel. However, this hotel just so happens to have been taken over by a shady dark web corporation who lock the hotel down and install kind of video cameras and connect it to the dark web, and are going to stream a kind of live killing spree with four masked maniacs going around killing both staff and guests at this hotel to win cash prizes. And it's up to the residents and the staff of this kind of hotel to try and survive. What will happen? You'll have to watch the movie and find out. So, let's discuss. As I said, this is somewhat similar in presentation to the Terrifier movies. It's obviously produced by the director of the Terrifier movies. He's doing the VFX, and you've got some on-screen talent as well. So if you're a fan, it's less of the supernatural creepy, more of the kind of the tech and slashery style creeps here, but it has a similar vibe to it. The gore here is nearly there, maybe not quite as gory as the Terrifier movies, but it's not far off, let me tell you. And the degree of gore in regards to how good it looks is, as I say, very similar, because it's got the same VFX guy behind it, the director of Terrifier. So, you know, if you like your gore movies, torturous scenes, gory kills, then this movie has plenty of them. High body count. And it kind of plays a little bit like the Purge kind of anarchy movie, or the Purge election year, where it has a kind of action element to these. We've got these people desperately going to try and escape fighting these kind of four masked lunatics who kind of look like the kind of the Purge. All the meantime, it's being streamed on the dark web, where shady people are, you know, effectively watching a snuff movie live. Again, kind of like the Hostel. So I think there is definitely an element here which has had a proven track record in a couple of kind of different franchises, and it's very kind of well produced as well. I think the direction here is pretty solid. Our kind of characters, like let's talk about the characters. So our primary characters are this family of four, and I thought they did a good job of really making you like our characters, in particular the father and the young boy. The father really is like yearning of the more innocent days when he was kids, particularly his daughter was a little younger and more interested in doing family things. The daughter at this point is, you know, a late teenager, and she just kind of wants to rebel. But he still is enjoying the kind of like his son being kind of like still a boy and interested in, you know, just kiddie stuff. And I really kind of like that family dynamic. It's very relatable. I thought the acting was kind of solid. The child actor here, it's like an 11-year-old boy. Again, a very kind of likeable character. And I found myself watching this, kind of wanting, come on, you know, wanting them to kind of do well and things like this. We meet a smattering of other guests and staff at the hotel. Some of it's kind of played a little bit more tongue-in-cheek. We've got Dave Sheridan in a kind of a little fun role here, and Jeffrey Combs is the hotel manager, who's very kind of chewing the scenery, shall we say. Out of all the kind of like the big name horror talent here, Jeffrey Combs has the most screen time. He has a legitimate supporting role, whilst everyone else pretty much is, well, Daniel Harris as well, but the most others are more kind of like cameo roles, to be honest with you. I should point out before I forget as well, there is a mid-credit scene which is kind of a sequel almost, like a little mini movie of this one. I think the just the kind of the tension and the way this movie kind of ramps up with our guests kind of slowly getting an idea about what's kind of going on and being able to kind of fight back and stuff, again makes this movie's like ratcheting up of the tension and the kind of the thrills here and stuff. And we do really kind of want our protagonists going to come out of this in one piece. I think, you know, you're not rooting for the bad guys, so to speak, but nonetheless the bad guys I think are four kind of players, and then we have the kind of the puppet masters as well, but they all kind of look kind of quite cool. They're all done up. As I said, David Thornton, who plays Art the Clown in the Terrifier movies, he's one of these players, and he's doing his like mime thing again, without the kind of the clown makeup this time, but with more of a sort of Purge sort of style mask. But he still kind of acts the same. It's like Art the Clown, kind of creeping around and stuff. It's a lot of fun. I think the acting is kind of solid. The kind of the gore effects are kind of realistic. I think it's got some good, exciting moments. This is less of a creepy film, and I say more of a actiony horror movie. And that's why I really do liken this to the kind of the second and third Purge movies. If you've seen those films, it's kind of a very comparable movie to that. What doesn't work for me, there are a couple of reveals in this movie. I wouldn't say twists exactly, but reveals that I think are super obvious. And there's a couple of times where I think, that's going to happen, that'll happen, this person's going to be revealed as that, and yeah, I was right 100% of the time, like way before it was coming on. And some of the kind of the, without spoiling anything here, some of the elements here that the reveals are just, they're signposted too early. I don't want to kind of point things out, but you're thinking, why is this character wearing this? And thinking, oh well, still wearing it, and thinking, no, okay, that's clearly going to be like setting up something. So yeah, there are the reveals here. They don't exactly bury the lead. I think the movie overall is a little predictable, and there's some elements here where, you know, we have our four antagonists, which are the kind of the players that are going around sort of killing everyone. And I was thinking, so are they working together? Are they working kind of against each other? They seem to be working against each other, though it's not exactly clear or defined. And I'm thinking, well, if they're working against each other, why are they kind of, one's like, they're kind of creeping around, walking menacingly around corridors rather than kind of running after victims. I'm thinking, okay, you're acting like menacing and spooky, but if this was a competition, you were earning money from it, would you be like that? It's things like that. So our antagonists acted a little robotic to me. So yeah, but overall, it's kind of a sort of a fun movie. You might think it's a little sadistic if you're not a fan of the kind of the Terrifier movies, so to speak. And you know, it does have a similar level of violence, but as I say, it plays more like a less kind of supernatural. But overall, I'm going to give this the same as I have done the Terrifier movies to now, which is a 7 out of 10. I thought it was a solid action horror movie, worth a watch. You know, I was engaged, I was excited. Yeah, the plot's relatively basic, and I think they could have done a bit more with some of the reveals, and some of the cameos seem a little wasted, to be fair. But an enjoyable movie nonetheless. I would check it out if I were you. 7 out of 10. Have you seen it? What were your thoughts? Leave me a comment, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time.